Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Good morning, and welcome back to our hashtag mental health series. So, in the first couple of episodes, we've talked about some general statistics about mental health, and we've talked about some barriers to mental health. But underlying both of those episodes was that idea about myths about mental health. So, what I wanted to talk to about today was myths related to mental health and some of the things that we might believe that aren't exactly true. So one of the things that people feel when they have a mental health issue, when they feel depressed or when they feel anxious or when they feel like there's something wrong with their mind, is that they believe that they're weak-minded and they just need to suck it up and get over it. And a lot of people come to me and they say, I've tried to talk to my parents about it or my friends or family members or whoever, and they just say, just move past it, just keep going. And people come in and they say that's really disconcerting or it's deflating because I wish I could. If I could, I would do it, but I can't. And it just makes me feel like there's something wrong with me and there's something that I'm not doing right or I'm being punished for and there's just nothing I can do. So one of the things is that that's never the case. So everyone that I've seen in my office, and again, I've been doing this for many years, I've never met someone where I thought to myself, this person just needs to get over it, right? And especially with kids, especially with teens, they'll come in and parents will come in with them and they'll say, there's something wrong with my kid, fix them, right? And then once you start talking to the child or to the teen, you see that there's a lot of family difficulty going on. There's some stress happening. The way that mom and dad are relating to them or listening to them is not very effective. So very rarely have I ever felt this is all their fault. It's their responsibility. They need to get over it. So if you're feeling like, and if people are even telling you this is all your fault, it's not true. Okay? We don't live in a vacuum. There's a context to everything. Even like the stories in the Quran, right? There's a context to everything. And what we have to do is figure that out. And I think sometimes you feel down and you just feel like you're getting hammered down and you just want to give up. So that's the biggest one, is that you're not a weak person if you have difficulty handling something on your own, right? It's no different than your physical health or if there's a problem with your home or if you have a tutor for math. This doesn't make you a weak person. This just means that you need a little bit of help and guidance. So that's what therapy can do. Another common myth is that idea of this is just the way it is. There's nothing that can change that. And again, that's not true. Usually people see within even the first 4 sessions, they see that they feel better, that they see improvement, they have hope. And as I said in a previous series episode, 80 to 90% of people who seek therapy actually report positive results. So if you feel like there's nothing that can change, nothing can fix this, please don't feel that way. That's not true. Another myth that I'd like to talk about is the idea that everything is genetic or everything is biological and that we don't have any control over anything. So that's not true either. There's lots of debates about nature versus nurture. There's lots of debates about, okay, is alcoholism genetic? Is schizophrenia genetic? Is my depression genetic? Oh, my mom and dad had depression, so I'm going to have it. And that's not true either. There's lots of things we have free will about. There's lots of things that we can control. If we're in a depressive environment, we can choose to leave that depressive environment. Or if we can't leave it, then we can choose to support ourselves around or find support with positive people and stay connected to people. So those are 3 of the big myths, and then there's 2 more that I'd like to just briefly mention before we're finished today, inshallah. And one of them is that there's this very significant myth of what we're going to do or what's going to happen in the therapy room is going to change me fundamentally. And if you're a Muslim, you might feel like they're going to, tell me not to practice Islam, or they're going to say that you're crazy and I'm going to give you medication. And that's not true. And what's interesting is when people come into my office, one of the first things I say to them is, how are you feeling right when you walk in, right? And obviously they might be feeling uncomfortable. They don't know me. They've never been in therapy. It's a new situation. So I say to them from 0 to 10, how stressed are you feeling right now? How anxious are you feeling right now? And they'll say a number. And then at the end, I'll say, 1, how long do you think you've been in here? And most people feel that they've only been in for 20 or 30 minutes. And I tell them they've actually been in here for an hour or 50 minutes and they've done a great job. And this is what therapy is, us talking about your life, trying to figure out what's going to be helpful, figuring out what's been hurtful and what's behind that, And then people realize that with a psychologist, you don't come and get medication. You don't come and get a shot. That's actually a big thing that little kids are worried about. And I say, I'm a no shot doctor. There's no shots here. So people feel that like you're going to go in there and they're going to strap you down and give you medication or give you a shot or electric shock therapy. I mean, these are all concerns that I actually get. So that's why I mention them. But what happens is you come in and it's like a conversation. And then you start to feel comfortable and you start to realize, okay, this person is just here to help. And this person is here to listen. And this person is not judging me. Even if I've done something horrific, or even if I've lied to everyone, or if I've stolen, or if I've done things to hurt my family or friends. Like, yes, those feelings are real, but therapy, good therapy, provides a non-judgmental space. Okay? So the last myth that I want to talk about is the idea that it's going to take forever, which I did mention earlier, but also the idea that you're not crazy. This isn't a crazy moment. This doesn't mean that you have to be fixed. It just means that there's some problem right now. There's a problem, and we all face problems, right? But it takes a lot of strength and it takes a lot of courage to actually go to someone and say, hey, I need some help. Like, I need help with this issue. And I think we can all think about moments and situations to where we said, I can handle this. And then we try to do something and it just makes it worse. And then we know it's worse. And then it makes us less inclined to talk to someone about it. And it gets worse and it gets worse and it gets worse. And then finally something terrible happens and everything comes out. And you think to yourself, oh, if I just would have said something at the beginning, or someone else says that to you, if you just would have told me at the beginning, it didn't have to get to this place. So those are some common things that happen. I'm sure there are many other common myths, but I want to try to keep these short to keep everyone's attention. But those are some of the common myths about mental health and therapy that I see. So I wanted to take a moment, take one of the episodes in this series and talk about that. So inshallah, this has been beneficial for you, and stay tuned for next week. We're going to have something good for you, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.